Welcome to Sakatas Homma Scanning Masterclass. And in this video series, what I'm going to show you is how to basically make a scanner for everything using a free software called Chartink. By now, you already are convinced that how much a scanner is helpful and necessary if you are especially a beginner in the market. So first off, how there are two different ways in which you can use a scanner. One is just to see the breadth of the market, meaning is the market bullish or is the market bearish or sideways. More importantly, you can also use scanner to scan for your setup, a particular setup, right? For example, high tide flag setup. So you can definitely code all the characteristics of a high tide flag and get only the stocks which are showing these characteristics. So what I will do is divide this series into mostly two parts. One is we will first generally look at the tools one by one with which we are going to help ourselves build the scanner, and we'll not go through everything that is in ChartLink because everything is not important. Only we'll go through the most important ones. The second part, we will actually take these many examples and I will show you step by step how to code for each one of this, right? And at the end, when you are going to build a scanner for yourself, you will use whatever you learned from each one of this and build whatever scanner you want. Okay, so hopefully by the end of the video series you will be able to code anything what you want. Maybe the setup can be fundamental or the setup can be technical. So let's begin. First of all, you need to go to Chartink. So a free software. Get an account for yourself, and let's start by creating a new scanner. So you see the plus sign, you have to click on this sign and you will get all the attributes here. The most important ones are open, high, low, close, volume, percentage change, uh, uh, the math functions, which will go one by one. Uh, if you are going to use indicator, any indicator, the moving averages, mostly the moving averages, and you also find other uh, indicators such as the Bollinger Bands, Ichimoku, RSI, MACD, everything, right? So let's begin from the very basic. So you know that a candlestick has four different attributes, four different data points, and those are open, close, high, and a low, right? So for example, I'm looking at D-Link. D-Link opened at a price of 271, closed at a price of 283. So how can we now use the scanner to find, let's say, D-Link? So here you will find in stock attributes, let's say open. So I want to, and once you put the stock attribute, then the next you want to put in an operation. So operations can be any arithmetic operations, plus, minus, multiply, divide, or a comparison operation. Comparison would be equal to, greater than, less than, equal to. And the third operation is a crossing operation. So crossed above and crossed below. That is all we have in operations, and all of these operations are very important, as I'll show you in many other codes, right? So let's say I want to see open which is greater than a number, let's say 270, right? So before putting the number, you need to put the here the number first and say 270, right? So you run the scan and there are 850 stocks whose open price is more than 800 and more than 270. So let's put another filter here. So before that, there are, you will see in uh, every line of the code you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the symbols. What these symbols mean is this orange symbol would say copy. So if you copy this, you can paste it anywhere else. Like for example, in this case, we had made the scanner Minervini trend template, right? So this is another sheet. Now I had copied this line using the copy on the yellow symbol, and this whole code has been copied now, which I can use to paste here. So is this violet color, if you click it, then my line of code is now pasted. The second one, blue, will copy and paste it in the same file. Okay, so here the third one is basically on or off. You can disable or enable this filter also. Okay, and the last one is basically you delete the filter. Very simple, 4 functions. So what I did is I copied this, and I will use another function, which is close. Okay, so I am saying that the latest close is, now I'm using another operation, which is less than. So I will say latest close is less than the number, let's say 290. So now only those stocks which opened above 280 and closed below 290 within the 20 rupees range will show in the scan. So if I run it, I will now see that there are only 42 stocks which fulfills this criteria. And is D-Link in here? Surely D-Link is here. See? So similarly, you can have latest low. Latest low is greater than 290, or latest high, right? So these are open, high, low, close, very important filters. So if you say only 23 stocks are there whose low is greater than 270 and high is less than 290. Now let's look at some other functions which you use. Now in this case, let's I will put this to open and close. Okay, now this is latest. Now you want to see not on the daily candle. So latest would mean by default the daily settings. If you want to code for, let's say, a weekly candle, what you can do is you can see weekly. Okay, and even in here you can say weekly. So you see in weekly there are 37 stocks which fulfill the same criteria. Can you do other time frames? Yes, you can. Monthly, again you get 44 stocks which fulfills this criteria. Now can you go intraday? Yes, you can go intraday as well. So let's say 5 minutes. You see? So okay, so these are the very basics here where we learned how to put open, low, high, close, and use the comparison operators, put numbers, and also modulate the time frame in which we are scanning. Okay, now you may see that not only we can scan for the latest information, what you can also do is scan for information which is some time old. You can offset the time here. So how to do that? Instead of latest, what you can say is 1 day ago. Okay, so let me just remove this, and I'll show you just by using one line of code. So now this, what we'll do is, it will give you, for example, today is Friday. It will give you the names for Thursday, because in here you've offsetted the time period by 1 day. Okay, great. So similarly, you can say you can offset it in weekly as well. Let's say 1 week ago, and so you will get different names now. Okay, so this is how you modulate not just the time period but also modulate how long back you want to scan for whatever settings you have made. Okay, so this is the second thing. All right, now I will show you how to use the mathematical function, arithmetic operations. Okay, uh, plus and minus I have seldom used in developing my scanners, but the more important ones are the multiplication and divide. So I'll first show you. So I'll basically show you how these two can be used. Okay, so let's say you want to build something like today's close divide by month before close. Okay, so how do you write month before close? You again hit close here, and instead of this latest you say 1 month ago. Okay, so basically what we are looking is today's close divide by 1 month ago close. So if you want to find any stock which has doubled in 1 month, okay, so how would be how do we now write in here in so we will say that close divided by 1 month ago close is greater than or equal to 2, right? So just imagine if a stock closing today at 100, and 1 month ago the stock of the close of the stock was 50. So 50 divided by 100 would be 2, and so anything which has this ratio greater than or equal to 2 should give us that list. So in here Bohra Industries is apparently the only one who is given 100% in a month. So let's go and check if that's true. Bohra, Bohra. Ah, right. So seems like it's true. Okay. Maybe what we can do is say they. So this is very unrealistic, right? 1 month, 100%. But we need, let's say, we need to find stocks which moved 20% in a month. That's possible. So in that case, what you do is you instead of 2, you write 1.2. Now you see you will have more numbers, right? 108 numbers. Let's say 50%. You will have lesser numbers, but now these numbers you can easily go through. So for example, RVNL, Honda Power, UCO Bank. So RVNL, let's quickly look at RVNL. Yeah, so you can already see in a month, if I go to monthly candle, this monthly candle is above 83%, right? So which means that above 50% is given in a month. So that is how you can use the divide mathematical function. Now let's see how to use or in what case you can use the multiplication. Okay, so let's say you want your you want the stocks which are around 50 per around the 50 day moving average. Okay, so let's write a new line here. So I want all the stocks daily close is near to 50-day moving average. Now how can you code this near? So what we can do is we can say that greater than equal to and less than equal to. Okay, so close is greater than equal to SMA 50. Okay, now this will give you anything which is above SMA 50, but what we can cleverly do is you put a multiplication sign here and you multiply this number this by a number. If you say 0.9 9, what it will do is it will give you all the stocks. Let's say a stock is close at around 100 rupees right now, and the SMA is also 100. Okay, so 100 into zero point 0.9 would be 90. So anything whose stock which is around 10% less than the SMA is 10% less than the close will give you. Okay, now just you need to do is add another line where you also put uh, another equation where you say the latest close is now less than equal to also 10% of the SMA. Now what you are doing is you are binning, means any stock who is inside this 20% range of the SMA 50 will be selected and come in the scan. Okay, so you have all this. So now you can see that you have still a 1500 number. We don't need that. So what we'll do is we'll close this bin size to 97.5. Okay, from 90 to 97.5, and in this case let's say 1.025. Okay, so we are like constricting that space, and you see that there is now 518 stocks. Further constrict it to 9.9 and 1.01. Okay, so almost 210 stocks which are about this range, right? Close is greater than equal to, less than equal to SMA. Okay, so now what I have done is I have constricted it into such a way that I will get only the stocks which are at the 50-day moving average, right? At or near to the moving average. And you can see that only 19 stocks out of 2000 are in this range. So this is how you can use the multiply function. Now, if you don't want to do this, you can directly say, okay, instead of writing greater than or less than, what you can say is, okay, I'll give me stocks which are equal to, give me stocks which are equal to latest SMA 50, and then so I will remove this, and then what I will do is so now if I want to delete this portion, what you just do is you say remove all operations on the right. Okay, so it will clearly, so apparently none of the stock is exactly at 50-day moving average. Okay, so that's why the multiply sign is very important, right? So these are basically all the basic tools in the screener with which you can actually build anything. So this is the time modulation tool, time frame, as well as the offset of the time. Here you will put whatever open, high, low, close numbers, or any indicators numbers, or any indicators like MACD. What are the other indicators? Moving averages, Bollinger Bands, Ichimoku, stochastic, RSI, whatever you want, right? So I will just show you a couple of other examples of general indicators. Okay, so let's say I want all stocks whose RSI is greater than 50. So I will say latest RSI, RSI 14. You can modulate this number again according to your own wish, greater than 0. Let's say 8. So this is sort of the overbought zone, right? So you will see, wow, so many. Sorry, probably it should be 80. Here now you see 19 stocks are at the overbought zone. If you want the oversold, you modulate the number and you see all the numbers which all RSI less than 20. You will have again 9 stocks which are really have a huge selling pressure. right? So for example, now you want RSI which is just crossed above 20. So instead of less than, you just put crossed above, right? uh, and then you will see that, okay, these are the 8 stocks where the selling was very low, and now probably the selling is just coming up. So for example, if you see, if let's say Paytm and Shilpa Medicare, um, yeah, so you can see that after days of red candles, from 700 levels to now 440 levels, and there is a one green candle, so again, like many people who use RSI, probably they can code anything using RSI like this. Similarly, MACD cross, right? So if you are someone who trades a MACD cross, then in that case, what we can see is like, okay, MACD line crosses above, let's say, MACD signal line. Okay, so I'll quickly pull out. Let's see first. So 160 of them are giving signal, right? So for example, BHEL, and we'll quickly look at what BHEL is doing. So you can, I will put the MACD. So moving average. So you see here the MACD crossover is nicely caught by the scanner which we just built, which is using just one line, right? So all in all, these are the almost 90%, 95% of everything in this scanner building process is basically simply following these tools. Okay, now what we will do is, okay, last thing which I want to show you, which is very important, is now how to so let's look at so there are two things called max and min. Okay, so so let's say max. So there is this function, math function called max, and it consists of two things. One is duration and one is value. So where this can be used is, let's say this max. Okay, so let's say in Minervini trend template, what we wanted was the latest close should be at least 30% above. Sorry, the latest close should be at least 75% around the 52-week high, right? So in that case, this is what you use. So we say latest close is greater than or equal to, in this case we will use the max function. Okay, so max duration, again in this duration you can put 252 if you are using day. Or I will also show you how you can code the same thing using weekly. So in here, latest close of what duration? Last 252 duration. Sorry, in this case we are using high. Okay, so the maximum high during the last 252 days. Okay, now you multiply this number with whatever percentage you want, and in this case we say that 75%. So you multiply this by 75. So now imagine you will this scan will give all the names whose close price is within within the top 25% of the 52-week high. Okay, so with this we have just coded very simply the 52-week high. Okay, so why 52-week high? Because 52-week high has a 250 day, or the same thing you can also code this by just putting this latest latest to weekly and then changing this 252 to 52. Now is also the same thing, you just have coded in terms of weekly and not in terms of daily, right? So the same thing the max can be used to find the maximum, not only high but other different things as well. For example, if you want to see the maximum close, then this will be not maximum 52-week high but maximum 52-week close. Similarly, you can also put open, high, low, and other things, right? So this is how max function works. Okay. Now similarly, let's see how the minimum function works. So again, like in the Minervini trend template, Minervini wants only those stocks which have risen at least 30% from the from the 52-week low, right? So now we will just say latest close is greater than equal to 52-week. Instead of close, you write low here, and now this will give you weekly 52-week. Now in this max, what you do is you change max to min. So now what it's coding is minimum. So in the last 1 year or last 52 weeks, whatever the minimum value of the low a candle has made, we want all stocks whose close is higher than that into the number 1.3. So why 1.3? If it would be 1, it would give all the values who is at a 52-week low now. If you add 1.3, it will give you all the stocks whose closes is at 30% more than the 52-week low. Okay, so these are the two very essential mathematical functions, min and max, which will help you code advanced level, more complex screeners. Okay, so if you just run this, you see almost 1,000 stocks are 30% above their 52-week low. Okay. All right. Now that's basically most of the basics, and now what we will do is we will go and code all of this one by one. Okay.